Hi guys, and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, hi, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I am Leslie. For my returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for coming back to support my channel. We are back today with another Mental Health Monday video. I just wanted to kind of touch base on a couple things today that are relevant to what's going on in my life. Sorry guys, my face is super itchy. I had some class with my daughter this morning and my skin is super dry. Anyways, so last week I talked about my guilt that I really have been having like in the forefront of my mind and how it's really making my anxiety a little bit heightened. I did have a therapy session this weekend where we talked a lot about it, and just how that guilt is not all rooted in fact, and how a lot of that is my anxiety just changing the perception of things and reminding me that everybody has different baggage at different parts of their lives, and while I'm going through this, it's just about getting better, and you can't feel guilty about taking care of yourself. But the part that I struggle with is the fact that most of my anxiety, when I know what is causing it, I might not be able to like control the thoughts to stop it, but if I know I'm anxious because I'm worried about my daughter, or if I'm anxious because, I have to go into a store in COVID, or whatever the case may be, I'm able to give myself those facts. Like, okay, if, my daughter is with my mom successfully raised me my entire life, nothing terrible ever happened, she knows what to do in an emergency. If something does happen to my daughter, it will be handled appropriately and things will end up fine. There's no need to panic about the unknown in that way. And I can give myself those facts enough to not be on the verge of a panic attack, to take away that rapid breathing, to just be okay and function fine. When it comes to this guilt, I have a very hard time doing the same thing because I don't have facts that stop it. I do feel like I put additional strain on my marriage. I do feel like I'm afraid of passing this on to my daughter and teaching her to be scared of things, because of how I react in my states of anxiety. All of these things, and I don't have a way to talk myself down in facts. So I'm really struggling with that. And the big thing she talked to me about was trying to relax and really relax my brain so that I'm not so focused on those thoughts, especially at night before bed, because I will end up running through my head a ton at night. And so I'm really going to get back to working on relaxation techniques that I've kind of let slip away because I haven't needed them as much day to day as I did when I started, because I'm managing most of it better, but this is something that I'm not managing well, so I really need to go back to the basics and work on that. And so just remember, when we're working on relaxation, it's really easy to get that confused with distraction. And lately I feel like that's been my crutch. I always have a show on my phone playing or YouTube videos playing when I'm doing stuff in the kitchen. Like, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts, and I'm distracting versus relaxing. So that's something I'm needing to kind of go back and refocus on, as my big priority there. And so I just wanted to share with you guys that this is a constant journey of ups and downs. I will have a great couple weeks and then really struggle hard for a little bit, or something will happen that, causes disharmony in my balance of thoughts and my home life, and really kind of make me panic. So I want to be honest with you guys, and I started this channel very specifically to normalize talking about all parts of this. I don't want you guys to think that I come on here and just share my successes. I want to share with you guys my failures and my shortcomings and the days that are hard for me. it might take me a little bit of time to be able to discuss certain things, just because I have to get myself to like a headspace where I can put things into words. But don't think that my channel is always going to be bright and sunny, because some days they're hard and they're struggling and you're overwhelmed. Um, and I want to share that side too, because this is a hard thing to go through. And I think everybody who goes through this has these days. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. I'm not even super sure why, but because it's hard to talk about. But I don't want anybody to think when they're going through this, I don't want them to look at my channel and think, well, she got through this and this is how she did it. Now she's great. Like, I'm not always great. Um, I'm not always upbeat. I have my days and my moments that are a big struggle, and I want to share those guys with you too. So that you know when you're having those hard days, like, it's okay, it's not uncommon, and you'll get through it, and the brighter days will come back around. But it can just be really hard sometimes, and a lot of people don't want to admit that. A lot of people don't want to talk about that part of it. It's easy to talk about your successes. It's not always hard, or it's not always easy to talk about the hard days and the failures. So I really want to talk about all of it on this channel. I want, no matter what phase you're in, I want you to be able to find a video here if you need it, to know that that's how this goes, or that's how I went through it too, or whatever it may be, and just kind of give you that support when you need it. I also just want to remind everybody that if you're going through some stuff, do not be afraid to reach out and talk to somebody. I want to share all of my journey with all of my viewers and subscribers, so that, you know, maybe it encourages you to talk to somebody. I didn't talk to somebody for a long time going through this. I wasn't even aware enough to know I was going through a lot of this initially, until I had physical, like, sickness symptoms. And if I can help change that with one person in the society, where you reach out before it gets to that point, I will have considered this worth every bit of, like, as challenging as it can be to share myself and share my journey. I would do it 100 times over if I can help one person, just because I know how hard that was for me to take that first step, and how broken I was by the time I took that step. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. And if you're newer here, know why I started this journey and what my goal is on doing this. Because some days it's very overwhelming. I wasn't really sure even what I wanted to talk about when filming today, and was just going to kind of go off the cuff, and this is what you guys got. But I promise I will always be honest on this channel and very transparent about my journey. If you guys have questions, if you guys are going through something that you know, you're not sure what to think or feel about, and you want to hear my take on it, or you want to hear what I might have gone through this similar, you can always message me. You can always comment down below. You can reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagram name, I'll put it down below, but it's Leslie Through the Looking Glass, same as here, but instead of spaces, it has underscores. And I'm always up for suggestions on topics to talk about. But yeah, my week overall has not been that bad, so it's funny that I got so extra emotional. But, you know, I had a hard few days last week and the week before, and I wanted to share them with you, but it just took me a little time to get perspective so that I could put into words what I was going through. And sometimes, as much as I'm trying to help normalize the conversation about mental health, it still at times can be overwhelming to talk about when I'm like fresh off the emotions. Not because I don't want to talk about it or I'm embarrassed about it, but it's just hard to put things into words sometimes if you're like in the middle of it. So I'll always try to be honest of what I'm going through. Just know that sometimes I might have to wait a week or two to kind of share that part with you guys. Not because I'm trying to like gloss over it or make it seem better, but just because I'm not sure what to talk about and how to phrase things. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have on this, guys. I know this video really wasn't focused in one topic or one area, but that's kind of how my brain is working these days. So we take what we can get, and I just hope it's helpful to somebody. I do want to say that if you missed it, my giveaway winner was announced Saturday, so congratulations again to Just Ginger if you missed that. Hopefully we'll just keep growing the channel. There will be more of those to come. And then I will have a Disney video this weekend for you. I'm waiting on several boxes to show up, so if one of those gets here by the weekend, we'll have an unboxing. Otherwise, I have a couple mystery pins, and was going to show off some of my pin traders and some of my favorite pins in my collection for you guys. So we'll have one of those 2 videos this weekend. And the last thing I want to touch base on is I mentioned last week how each week I want to spotlight a different YouTube channel that has inspired me or that I think is really amazing for one reason or another. And this week I want to spotlight a Dole Whip a Day. And I will link Rebekah's channel, Dole Whip a Day, down below. I would love for you guys to check her out. The reason I am spotlighting her channel is actually because it's very similar in concept to what my channel is. Hers is a little different as far as content, because she has designed her channel around battling her eating disorder and recovery, and then incorporating Disney as well. So while, you know, it's a very different arena, it all kind of focuses on mental health and eating disorder awareness as well. Now, she wants to raise awareness, but one of the big things like that she incorporates Disney for is because she has multiple interests and doesn't want to be defined just as someone with an eating disorder, and show that it's really hurtful to label somebody or think of somebody just because of one facet of their life that they might be struggling with. So she uses Disney to showcase her other interests and passions, as well as it was a big part of her recovery. And she talks about why that is in her like very first video. And I just really enjoy watching her channels and her take on it. And like I said, it's very similar to where I'm mostly anxiety based, but overall I just want to encourage people to discuss their mental health and take care of their mental health and not have a negative stigma. And she's very much the same. But she's also spreading awareness that an eating disorder is not just an eating disorder. It's not just a vanity thing. It's usually a mental health, you know, crisis, and really much more complex than you would realize. And she really shares her journey. She shares, same as me, she tries to share the highs and the lows, and she does, you know, it's all about active recovery. Everybody slips up and has to get back on track, stuff like that. So her channel is very, you know, very interesting and very inspirational from that standpoint. And she does great Disney content too. She does Bibbidi unboxings. She works with children and has great stories from her days being a teacher, and shares little like anecdotes here and there of that. And she's just a really positive person. So I really would like for you guys to check out her channel if that sounds interesting to you. Like I said, I will link Rebekah's channel down below. And then the other thing, I did reach out to her to ask her like if there was anything specific she wanted mentioned about her channel, because I am a newer subscriber. I just found her more recently on my journey, but she also just mentioned the National Eating Disorder Organization, NEDA, is a resource that she used and helped her a ton in her recovery. And I just wanted to share that information as well in case anybody watching this is struggling with that area of their life. So you guys, that is really all I have for you today. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to watch, and just know that I appreciate every one of you coming and supporting my channel and my journey. And like I said, if anybody needs any, you know, anybody to talk to, reach out. Somebody wants to be there for you. If you don't feel like you have anybody or you're afraid of judgment, you can always reach out to me. And I hope that you guys just have a great week, and I will see you this weekend with another Disney video. You guys have a great week. Bye.